Dr. Montessori described the 5 to 8-year-olds as word lovers. When Dr. Montessori observed children using language to represent their own ideas, she introduced grammar so that they could express what was growing in their minds. She found that students would work endlessly with grammar materials to fulfill their need of understanding words. In our lower elementary classrooms, we recognize the child's sensitive period for language. Lessons in grammar are presented to students through key experiences, use of our miniature farm, and the use of grammar boxes. Teachers focus on the parts of speech, their function, their relationship with other words, and their order in phrases and sentences. Dr. Montessori designed the grammar materials to provide movement for the children. She said, "Movement and cognition must go hand in hand." Our grammar materials are hands-on. Children are moving, matching, and manipulating words and symbols to identify the parts of speech and to create sentences. Recording the words as the child works with the material makes an imprint in the child's mind and solidifies learning. At times, students are encouraged to collaborate with classmates. Dr. Montessori stated, "There is nothing that makes you learn more than teaching it yourself." The lower elementary grammar curriculum follows the developmental needs of children at this age by combining movement, direct teacher instruction, and peer collaboration. Let's begin our journey through the lower elementary grammar program. First, you will see an early grammar lesson presented by a Montessori teacher. She is reviewing the noun family, which includes the article, adjective, and noun. This phrase has no movement or excitement, so she will introduce a new part of speech, the verb. The noun family consists of the article, adjective, and noun. The noun is introduced first. The children learn the Latin word for noun is nomen, meaning to name. For example, flower is a noun. Then the adjective and article are introduced. This then becomes the beautiful flower. These 3 parts of speech are linked together and therefore looked at as a family. They are represented as triangles. However, together they do not make up a sentence. We now need to introduce the new part of speech, the verb. During each initial key experience lesson presented by a teacher, the child is introduced to a grammar key experience in the language notebook. In the case of the verb, the child is shown a red ball. This ball is red like the sun, large like the sun, and round like the sun, the most important body in the solar system. We present the verb because it adds movement to sentences. After acting out various movements that verbs provide us, students begin working with sentences. Finding verbs in sentences is exciting work for these word lovers. Teachers assign follow-up work for the students to practice what they've learned. The children are given sentence strips and asked to label the verbs. The verb symbol, the rolling red ball, becomes a red circle above verbs in the sentence. To provide more opportunities for the students to master the concept of verbs, the students use grammar boxes designed by Dr. Montessori. Grammar boxes challenge the students to analyze the parts of speech he or she has learned. Students are given a sentence card and then asked to sort the words in the sentence into the correct parts of speech. The cards are color-coded to help the students identify the parts of speech and to serve as a control of error. After the cards are sorted, the children's work is recorded onto paper to provide one more mental imprint. Grammar boxes help students analyze language, enrich their vocabulary, and understand the position of words in sentences. When students are writing, they begin to develop more complete thoughts with a variety of parts of speech they have learned from the grammar boxes. As students progress through the lower elementary grammar curriculum, all of the parts of speech are introduced from the noun family to the verbs, to prepositions, to adverbs, to conjunctions, and finally, interjections. For their work at this level, students are given a sentence and they are asked to label and record each part of speech with its correct symbol. Students at this level are also able to collaborate and guide each other. Peer teaching may occur with grammar work. It reinforces concepts for the student teaching and helps the other student grasp important grammar concepts. From here, our students move on to sentence analysis. The first lesson involves teaching the subject and predicate in simple sentences. This is followed by the introduction of the direct object. Our upper elementary program continues this work with the child's growing understanding of grammar. Sentence analysis continues with more complex sentences, and the student's writing continues to expand with their greater understanding of words. West Side Montessori children have gone far beyond the state standards expected by third graders. Their grammar skills have been stretched, and their love for understanding words has blossomed. Their sentences have become super sentences filled with amazing adjectives, impressive verbs, and complex conjunctions. They begin to write and write more.